American football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Steelers and the Bills, and it's coming up next.
We welcome you to this postseason contest on EA Sports. Straight ahead, it's an AFC intra-conference contest between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills. I'm Kate Scott, joining me as always, my partner in crime, Brock Heward, and we are excited to bring you this NFL divisional round game. Well, excited, the word that you and I get to use, Brock, as do all these great fans in attendance, but for the players down on the field, I think a better word to discuss in this situation might be pressure.
I don't think there's any question about that, Kate. With every one of these playoff rounds, that pressure just grows. It increases. That Super Bowl gets closer and closer, and your game, well, it's got to increase with it. If you can't take your level of play up a notch from the previous week, can't rise to the occasion and find that extra gear befitting the situation we're in, well, that's the week you're going to be sent home and be a fan like the rest of us.
So the Steeler offense getting out there for its opening drive of the game. And leading them out in his 6th season in the league now is their quarterback.
He's one of the select group of quarterbacks where when he takes the field, everyone, and I mean everyone, takes notice. He's part of the game's elite and the game's most important position. And it really is a spectacle, Kate, anytime he leads an offense out, because you know he's capable of plays that other quarterbacks in this league simply cannot make.
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. He'll throw it. That's knocked away by a defender. Incomplete.
I know a DB in the stat sheet loves to see INT and not PBU, but as soon as he realized a pick wasn't possible, he does the next best thing and knocks it away.
3rd and long for him here. Escapes the pocket. He's running for it. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
Well, the field opened up, and he simply takes off. Even in today's NFL, where dual-threat quarterbacks are everywhere, it's not often a guy can rip off a run like that.
They have it 1st and goal, an early lead available here in the postseason. Pollard is across the line for the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers take a 6-0 lead right away. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. For the offense, you gotta love it, Brock. Points to begin the game as he runs it in for an opening drive touchdown.
And you've got one very happy running back right over there on the sideline right now. These backs, they do feel the pressure to find the end zone every single week. It's not easy to do. But to do it this early and get out of the way, big time.
Chris Boswell for the point after. The point after splits the uprights. And the Steelers will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Samuel now to return it. He stopped on the return at the 27. So here come the Bills for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by someone that we'll get a look at here, this second-year passer.
He's definitely one of the stars in this league, a true franchise quarterback. And when you're at this level, Kate, you want to put your imprints on this game right from the jump.
Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Throwing with a blitz on the way. Complete to Coleman. And he crosses the sideline a yard or two beyond, looks like the 30.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on 1st down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
2nd and 6 now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Yeah, this game, you just can't make it harder than it needs to be. Just get the catch first. Guarantee your yards, and then worry about escaping defenders after the catch.
They're going to throw it on 3rd and long. And the streak continues. Another one hits the ground. Looking for his wide receiver there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
He breaks a tackle. And he's going to set him up with a pretty short field here, Bronk, after getting a big chunk on that return. He puts together an excellent 33 yards on the run back. And the Steelers have a short field in front of them as they take over. Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. First carry of the game for the rookie out of Alabama. And he works his way for a gain of 4.
You know, these are the kind of runs, Kate, that a balanced game plan and a balanced offense is built on. It gets you good yardage, it sets up your play action, and it keeps that defense honest.
Throwing now off play action. Looking sideline and caught by Washington. And he's out just a second shy of reaching the red zone. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And he'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down. Setting up a throw. Rolled. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Well, partner, I think this defense had enough. This QB has been getting out of the pocket and doing damage with his legs. But not this time. Great pursuit, great effort, and they're able to wrap him up for the sack.
Trying again, following the sack. That's going to be caught by Washington. And a nice game here, but it stopped short of the 1st.
There's no routes on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Throw on 3rd down. Bails out of the pocket quick. Oh, he's going to run for it. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Pollard. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk, even if a run is play with.
Let's go. Go.
Trying again with Pollard. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Steelers take a 13-0 lead. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Point after up and good from Boswell. And the Steelers drive out to an early 14-0 lead. Now Boswell on to send this away. Samuel now to return it. Returns looking good so far. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. All right, excellent field position for the Bills as they set up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Too much lead on that throw. That falls incomplete ahead of his target.
Defensive coaches in the NFL say it all the time. Limit the big play. Keep these guys in front of you. Well, this defense is going to have to stay vigilant because this receiver, he could take the lid off a defense at any time.
First tone of the game for James Cook. He finds space for a few yards that time. Cole Holcomb there on the stop. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7. Shotgun snap, looking to throw. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. That's a 38-yard play for him to move the sticks.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
Here we go, here we go. Go.
Shotgun snap, looking to throw. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up 2nd down.
They would sure love to connect on some of these intermediate. Spark your offense, but it just sets you up for even more aggressive play calling.
And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Back to throw now. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. The Bills will turn to their kicker, Tyler Bass, for the field goal try. It's about 43 yards for him. Amendola able to put it through. And they'll get him back to 11.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
Has this at the 6. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. Now Pittsburgh's offense running back out for a new series. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
Now a toss. It's Pollard. And he gets it forward to steal about a yard out of that. Brought down by Rasul Douglas. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
Dumped off to his running back. He gets forward, that's about 4 yards. That play cleaned up by Matt Milano.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to third down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short.
Oh, he was on the move, but so was the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up fourth down.
I think his decision-making wrote a check that his legs couldn't catch this time. This QB can run, and he's ranging, looking for space, looking for an outlet. But there was none to be had. No escape route available this time.
On fourth down, the Steelers are going to turn to Cameron Johnston to punt this away. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. It's a 54-yard punt that time. And the Bills will take over possession. New set of downs for him from the 46.
Check, Panther, reload.
Drive starts with an option, right side. And he'll be met near the line to limit the game to a yard. A 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
It may not show up as much on the old stat sheet, just a short little QB run, but what that does, Kate, is so important. Keeps that defense honest, and in particular, those defensive linemen, those cleats in the ground, they're not just coming after you in the pocket. Now they've got to think about you as a runner as well.
Cook calls it in, and he'll have it down to the 44-yard line.
Translatable skills, that's what you call it. So effective as a runner, but those same traits that make him a great runner, adept at getting those yards, well, he translates it now as a receiver in the open field.
So that's the end of one in this AFC Divisional Round contest. It's a 2-score game early. We'll return to Highmark Stadium in just a moment. We're back for the second quarter. Bills in possession of the football. They'll only need a few inches here on third down. It's complete to Hopkins. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's again at 27 yards to move the chains.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. This one will be intercepted. Cole Holcomb has it. And the Steelers take over after forcing the first turnover of this ballgame. Well, they were thinking at least a field goal on the drive if they couldn't reach the end zone, right? But the interception keeps them from even getting 3 out of this possession.
You really hope at the end of this game you don't look back and go, shoulda, woulda, coulda. Yeah. If we could have gotten some points out of that drive early, we wouldn't be in the situation we are in now.
Pittsburgh getting its offense all set to go. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Going with Pollard on the ground. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
These running backs love getting into the open field, and the best of them, they're not even looking at the man right in front of them. They're looking at that next level to get a chunk run like that.
Markers reset, ball at the 37. Throwing now on 1st down. He's on the move. It goes for a 38-yard pickup. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
That's one of those occasions when you're sitting in the pocket and you're just looking for that escape valve. And then when you get it, you get space to run, and you get a 1st down. That's a big bonus for the quarterback.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. First and 10, it's Pollard. And they'll stop him after a short pickup to the 24. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
And he loses control of the interception in the end zone. Could have taken away some potential points, but instead, new life, 3rd down. They'll throw it. Flush down out to his left. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
You know, that's one of those little mental Rolodex plays. Right before the snap, you know if the read isn't there, that option isn't there, you can use your legs to make the adjustment and go get the first down.
From the gun, they go with Pollard. And he'll pick up a little down to the 12-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Catch is made in close. And he gets it to the 1, but goes out just before the goal line. A nice pickup of 11 there, Brock, and they'll have 1st and goal to figure out. Pollard has the Pittsburgh touchdown. The Steelers parlay the interception into points. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. His 3rd of the game on the ground. He's into the end zone and already at 3 rushing scores before halftime, Brock. So they either got to find a way to keep him out, or he's going to run his way into the record books if they're not careful. Boswell to add the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Steelers push their lead to 18.
Bills 3. Chris Boswell, the kickoff for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Hardy on the return. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Buffalo sending its offense to the field. And Brock, they are really struggling to get their feet under them in the first half. They've got to find some resiliency, really stabilize things here in the postseason. Now the shotgun give to Cook. And they're going to stop him after he wiggles his way forward for 2.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Minka Fitzpatrick in on the stop. Call it a gain of 6, and they need only 2 now on 3rd down. Back now, pressure on its way. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Nice work by the defense on that drive, Brock, as it looks like they're going to get off the field here with a 3-and-out.
Yeah, kept them from generating any sort of momentum to give this drive legs. We know offenses, they've got to see the chains move to get it going, but that forcible hit knocked the ball loose.
And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. The Steelers and Tony Pollard headed back out there offensively. Their last drive contained a heavy dose of the ground game, a little old-school dominance on the way to a touchdown, Brock. Let's see if they stick with it or if they go aerial this time around. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Broke through the tackle, and he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. It's a gain of 4 there, and it'll bring up a Pittsburgh 1st down.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that 1st down look really easy, a lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
And he goes down. The Bills got to him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That right there is one of the biggest differences between the NFL and college game. Heck, the high school and Pop Warner game. Because when you break away from a sack at those lower levels, big things happen. But at this level, this big boy league, just because you get out of one guy's arms doesn't mean you're safe anytime soon.
And that one looked like an interception for a second. Instead, it's incomplete. Defender couldn't hang on to it. 3rd down coming up. Almost a completion of the wrong team there. So they're left facing 3rd and long. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Oh, they're on him, and he's dropped again. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
This is one of those situations where QB's strength and ability to run can be a great blessing, but can also be a curse. We've seen him use his feet before. This guy can escape, and that's a blessing. But it can be a curse because sometimes you think you can get out of everything, and this defense just proved he couldn't.
Here's Cameron Johnston to punt it away once more. Calls fair catch and has it inside the 40-yard line. We don't get a return out of that punt. And they'll get ready to go on offense. Possession switching back to Buffalo as their offense heads out. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. And he scampers ahead and gets 2 on the carry.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
From the 40 on 2nd down. Connection made to Coleman. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. It's a great pickup, 16 yards, and now they've got 1st down.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Motioning right is Hopkins. To the air now on 1st and 10. That one complete to Hopkins. And he's able to get this down to the 36. 2nd and 3 now. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. They get 13 on the pickup. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
I'm sure Coach, the play caller, doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
Got him deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out. But it looked like a member of the Bills was able to get to that one, so possession remains with them. Ooh, so close to a big play defensively there, Brock, but now these guys got to stay out there. They were unable to bring in the fumble. They just forced.
They do. Got to bring a little bit of juice, but kind of like a boxer when they get a guy cut, they know. Man, if I get that first cut, I can make them bleed. And you get that ball out the first time, I guarantee you, I promise you, those guys are thinking they'll get it the next.
Ready, hut, go!
Another try following the sack. Pass into the hands of Dalton Kincaid. And he gets this down inside the red zone before going out. Extra man in the secondary for the Steelers. Third down coming up.
Let's go now. Set go. Hut, hut.
Dropping back to throw. He has the first over the middle. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. They'll come up 1st and 10.
Ready. Let go.
Now looking to throw. The throw is caught. And it looks like he went out of bounds right at that 7-yard line.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Come on, set. Hut.
Still sticking with the passing game. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Looked like a bit of a concentration drop on that one. And now they're going to face 3rd down.
You know, I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or just had a surprise break in concentration. So unusual to see one dropped unless there's a hit involved.
Here we go, here we go. Hut, hut. Ready.
From the gun on 3rd down. Intercepted in the end zone. Minka Fitzpatrick has got it. And the Steelers are going to take over after the interception.
You know, Kate, one of the tenets of the West Coast system that I was fortunate to play in, touchdown to check down. Touchdown to check down. You get in the red zone, it's touchdown to check down. You can't put the ball in harm's way. That's a brilliant job by the defense with their coverage, baiting the quarterback into the throw. But you got to sail that one into the stands. Touchdown or check down. You can't possibly give an interception in that situation.
The Steelers getting to take the field one more time here in the half. And up a very comfortable 3 scores. Really no need to try and get anything here before the half. A little less than 30 seconds to go as they begin this drive.
Here we go, set.
To throw it on 1st down. Completed here to Pickens. And they take him down at the 24-yard line. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. All right, all set up now. 1st and 10. They give to Pollard from the gun. We've reached halftime in this AFC Divisional Round matchup. Now we'll send you south to Orlando for a check-in around the league via Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, what you got for us?
All right, Kate, thanks very much. One of these two teams is going to move on to the conference championship. We'll get back to you and Brock in just a moment. We'll begin our tour out at Nissan Stadium in Nashville, where it was the visiting Colts who were able to pick up the road victory. The Titans unbelievably could not finish it off. They'd won their first 16, but they suffered the first loss in the finale to finish at 16-1. It was a strong first half for running back Tony Pollard. He was running with a purpose as he found the end zone 3 times in that first half. And that opposing defense had better come up with a scheme for slowing him down. These two teams making their final adjustments for the second half ahead. It's time to get back at it. For the call, let's rejoin Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
Thanks so much for the look around the league, Coach. But now it's time to turn our attention back to this one as we begin the third quarter. Samuel now to return it. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. Now here's the Bills offense. They've got it first to begin the third. And that first half, they just couldn't keep up the pace. But they're going to be the ones setting the pace here to begin this third quarter.
Ready. Set, go. Ready.
Interception last drive doesn't deter them. They're going right back to the air.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you've got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Set up.
Second and 10 now. Complete to Coleman. And he'll go down after fighting his way to the 32. All plays on the table here for 3rd and 3.
Set, go.
Off the play fake, he's going to throw. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down. The Bills with a punt team out there. Riley Dixon, the one to kick it away. And he finally gets a hold of one here. This is hit far. Takes this in at the 25. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down. It's a 61-yard punt that time. And the Steelers will take over possession. They're out and set, 1st and 10. They run the counter to Pollard. Breaks the tackle, still going. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Pickup of 8 on the run, and that sets up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short.
Go.
Again, a run with Pollard. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. Pickup of 5 on that play. And that's a Steelers first down.
Well, look at here. You don't even have to worry now about a 3rd down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next 3rd down coming.
Let's go.
Back to pass on 1st and 10. He's going to keep it this time. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. That one goes for 25 yards. Pittsburgh, first down.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the first down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
Ball at the 33 for first down.
Let's go now.
On the ground, Pollard. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss.
You know, for pitchers, you'll hear them say, gosh, you got to pitch this guy backwards. For defenses, you got to do the same at times, Kate. You just can't always run it on first. You got to mix in some high percentage pass plays. Otherwise, you're going to get hit right in the face for a loss just like that.
2nd and 13. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And they get to him again. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
Awareness. That's what I call it, okay? Awareness. You got to have a game awareness and understand the situation. 3rd and long, you should never take a sack. Put the ball in play or throw it away, but don't take a sack in that situation.
The Steelers set to punt it. It'll be Cameron Johnston doing the honors. And this hits at the 4 before taking a bounce into the end zone. That's a touchback. Now we've got the Bills offense headed back to the field. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. We've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Bronco switch. Smash.
Shotgun handoff now to Cook. And he's brought down for a loss.
This is one of those plays that I wish we had the huddle mic'd up, Kate, because I can assure you that offensive line in their own way is telling that running back, sorry, we did not give you any chance.
Here we go, sack.
Throwing on 2nd and 11. Throw reeled in by Hopkins. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. And he's hit before he can get anything on that return. The Steelers returning their offense, and this running back to the field. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this 3rd quarter. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Here's the give to Pollard. And he found some running room for a nice gain. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on 1st down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
With all these collisions these running backs take between the tackles, sure nice to get a little crease on the outside, get in that open field, and let these runners do their thing.
They give on 2nd to Pollard. And they'll take him down at the 43-yard line. A 9-yard gain and good for a 1st down.
You know, coach gets in that QB's headset, probably told his offense and his QB, listen, I don't want to see a 3rd down on this possession. Or something kind of like that. Whatever version he told him, it worked.
Throwing from the gun. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So 2nd down coming up. Throwing with a blitz on the way. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. tough one to retain through that hit. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. Now they'll throw out of the gun. He's running with it. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
So out now comes the punter. And he's going to try to give his defense a long field to defend. And he sends this away, definitely his best kick of the game thus far. And the coverage team is there as he fields it, so almost nothing on that return before he stopped. Officially a 55-yard launch. And the Bills will take over deep in their own territory. They'll get this drive started, 1st and 10.
Let's go.
Receiver in motion, headed right. Airing it out to start this drive. To the left and reeled in by Hopkins. They touch him down, but a great pickup, and it's good for a 1st.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
To throw here on 1st down. Escapes out to the left. That goes as a gain of 25 yards and picks up the 1st.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, and then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
Cook trying this one up the gut. He's pushed straight ahead, and that's maybe a yard at most. Patrick Queen arranging in for the tackle. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9. Back to throw. And oh, he drops it. He had all the space in the world. Brock, he got behind the defense, and he just looked away before he brought it in. A big missed opportunity. No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down. They kick the running back in motion. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
That drop ruins the payoff to a well-designed play. It got a man open, it beat the coverage. That's a call they can revisit in the future with hopefully a much better job finishing the catch.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. So this one carries all the way to the sideline and out. No chance to make a play on that, and they'll take over at the 16-yard line. The Steelers offense headed out. They are in great shape here as we wind down this 3rd quarter. They've got a 3-score lead. Another, that could put this just too far out of reach. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10.
Here we go, set.
They'll start this one on the ground with Pollard. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
That run's not going to turn many heads, but at the end of the year, I promise you, if you average over 5 yards a run, you can be a Pro Bowler.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Here's Pollard. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact a whole lot trickier to figure out.
And the Bills bringing out an extra defensive back. 3rd down coming up. He's on the move. He's running for it. They get 38 out of the play. And that's a Steelers 1st down.
That is so demoralizing for a defense. You lock things down in coverage. You do everything right on the back end, only to see the quarterback escape, evade the pressure, and get that 1st down anyway. Ugh.
So the big play gets him inside the opposing 45, Brock, with a new set of downs to boot. Up the middle, here goes Pollard. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. 8 yards to pick up there as we've reached the end of our third quarter. Only 1 quarter left before we send one of these teams to the AFC title game. It's Steeler football. If they can hold this lead, they'll continue this postseason run. After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Right back to Pollard. And he'll get them enough for a first down.
You know what I like about a 2nd and short run play, Kate? Yeah, I like getting a first down, but you know what I like even more? That's going to set up a play action pass in a similar down and distance, and that defense is going to have to key on the run.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. This time it's a passing play. Now he takes it. There it is! Touchdown, Pittsburgh! The Steelers keep adding to that fourth quarter lead. Great play by the QB there, Brock. The play broke down. He didn't have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise. And in the end, turned out to be the best call he could have made.
It is such a necessary tool in today's NFL for that QB to put right in his tool belt, Kate. You know, in my day, you could be a blacksmith, right? You just do the job and stay in the pocket. Not anymore. You got to be an artist, and you got to be an artist that can create when things break down, and that's big time to get a touchdown out of it as well.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Hardy on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. They're out and set, 1st and 10.
Go!
Running back sent in motion. 1st and 10, looking to throw. Gets this to Kincaid. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. In the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1.
Let's go!
From the 36. Short throw is dropped. This one's incomplete. Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here.
Let's go now! Go!
Here's a throw. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They could revisit that play in the future.
And on 4th down, that one won't work. It's incomplete. So the defense rises to the challenge and gives the ball back to their offense.
Even the best receivers, they've got occasional breaks in concentration. You just never want to see it happen. One of the most important snaps of the game. If we know anything about this guy, though, it's he'll be up for the challenge the next time the ball comes his way.
First down, ball at the 36. Now a toss. It's Pollard. And as he goes out of bounds, we've got a flag on the play, likely against the defense.
Offside. Defense.
Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach.
Still 1st down.
A 1st and 5 to begin this drive following the penalty. Now he'll throw off the play fake. Rolling left, buying some time. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
You know, before the snap, right before the snap, you may have to take off if the read isn't there. That was a great adjustment made at the perfect time for the 1st down.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10.
Here we go, here we go.
Now it's Pollard. And he manages to reach the 19 before he stopped. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
He finds Pickens left side. And he's able to get this down to the 13. Third and just 2 to go. Trying the inside handoff to Pollard. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
He easily had the yardage for a 1st, but he was hungry for a lot more. I think that tackle prevented something that was going to be a lot bigger than just a 1st down pickup.
Pollard on 1st and goal. Is in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. The Steelers continue piling it on here in the 4th. Tony Pollard with the touchdown. Far from the first time we've broken down one of his touchdowns in this game, partner, but man, they seem to get more impressive every time.
And I don't care, Kate, if they're all 1-yard plungers, if you're up over 300 yards. A 4-touchdown game will forever live among your greatest career highlights. You can go several games without even scoring one. So to get 4 in one contest, you'll never, ever forget it.
That one splits the uprights. And the Steelers grow their lead yet again.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Hardy on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. The Bills offense all set for their next drive. And all game they have struggled to attack this deficit. Maybe they can do a little window dressing here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
It's a 10-yard loss. Brings up 2nd and 20 at the 14-yard line.
Set, go. Set, go.
Trying again following the sack. And the defender redirects that deep shot. Nicely done. Incomplete.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that's just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
Third and long for him here. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down. They'll send out the punting unit. And after that drive went backwards, he's going to send this one forward. And he drives it towards the other end of the field. And he'll haul in this punt. Fair catch made at the 45-yard line. The Steelers and this running back headed back out for a new series. With touchdowns on their last 2 drives, Brock, they're playing some of their best offense here. Could they try for 3 in a row despite the lead? Let's find out. Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And all that for a single yard. What an effort to get what he could there. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, some positive yardage there, Kate, but just as important, they're mixing up their play calling, and they could very well be setting up the defense for a big play later.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9.
Let's go. Go.
Pass play now. He completes it in traffic. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And it'll bring up a Pittsburgh first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
On the jump.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34.
Let's go now.
Looking to the air here. On the move, headed right. He takes it himself. And he's got it down to the 30 before going out.
Well, you don't get the first down, but I'll tell you this, Kate, that drives the defense and the defensive coordinator nuts. They do everything right. They win, and yet still QB makes something out of nothing.
That's going to be caught by Washington. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Wow, certainly found the weak spot in the coverage with that catch. Really goes to show they trust every single player, receiver, running back, in that case, tight end, to be a playmaker in this offense.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. And he gets them a little closer to the end zone, down to the 6. Give him just 1 yard, I think, on the run. Still some work to do here on 2nd and goal. They're running again. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
Kid, I knew it at the time. I think everybody did. We knew the Legion of Boom was special, right? That entire secondary, but their safety's ability, Earl and Cam, to come downhill, to make those tackles behind the line of scrimmage as he just did. Yeah, I mean, you appreciate great safety play like that.
And the scoring will never end. It's another touchdown. The Steelers throwing 6 more on the blowout. At this distance, a very dangerous player on any pass play because, Brock, as he's scanning the field to throw for the end zone, he's looking for an avenue to run it too.
Kate, this is exactly why it's never been harder to play defense in the NFL. The precision and the execution in the passing game, the efficiency has never been better. But then when you do cover it up, you got guys like this who can scramble and make you pay with their legs.
Chris Boswell to kick off for Pittsburgh.
Now Boswell on to send this away. Hardy on the return. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Bills set to take over offensively. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to get this time around and find some points to go after that lead. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10.
Set it. Huh. Huh.
Trying to throw here out of the gun. That one complete to Hopkins. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down.
It's not just imperative that a quarterback knows man or zone. Same thing for a receiver, especially on a drag route. When he sees zone coverage like that, just settle down, find the soft spot, and give your quarterback a chance.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in Buffalo. Bill. Do some window dressing in the time remaining. 2nd and 3 now.
Sack. Ready.
From the 34. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Sack. Reload. Reload.
Shotgun snap, they're gonna throw. Pass complete to Cook. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a pickup of 26. And that's good for a Bills 1st down. New slated downs to approach here from the 40. He'll throw it yet again. Makes the grab in bounds left side. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
First and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Slot receiver headed left. Throwing from the gun here. That's taken in by Samuel. And they get this down to the 12-yard line before being stopped. Give him an even 10 yards on the play. And that's good for a Bills 1st down.
First and 10 at the 12-yard line.
From the red zone now. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And it's going to be 2nd down.
Check. Unlock line.
Back now, pressure on its way. That one's incomplete in the end zone.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
Bring it. Roll. Bronco switch.
Here he is on 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down. So the Steelers come in and take this on the road. And they pulled off the rare and elusive road win in the postseason, which means their journey stays alive another week as they head to the conference championship, where they're going to get a shot to punch their ticket to the Super Bowl. And with Brock Heward and our EA Sports crew, I'm Kate Scott saying so long from this one. The Steelers are winners as we say so long from Buffalo.